2021 application date. And if you have more questions about that or the process, it's long and intricate, and I'm happy to share with you. You're welcome to contact me or Mr. Hoffman, and we can help you answer any questions you have about that.
So we also wanted to be sure to point out that we have several other athletics activities as well that are not under the athletics department. Those would be mountain biking, cheer, and ultimate frisbee. We had some great expansion in our mountain biking team this year. Many more kids than previous. All right, so next is Dr. Karen Johnson to speak about our accountability measures and give us the highlights by the numbers.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Johnson, the Director of Curriculum and Accountability. And although everything you've heard this evening about our school and our model is so amazing, you don't see this at other schools, but I get to share how this shows in the community through the assessments that we are required to administer throughout the state. So this is a snapshot of much information and data for us. Just some things that we'd like to highlight. We are currently in the top 10 of our SAT and PSAT scores across the state of Colorado. 87% rating at the Colorado Department of Education with our overall performance. We currently have around 1,757 students, K through 12. And we have currently 400 students that are in advanced placement courses, along with 600 concurrent enrollment credit hours were earned last spring in 2019. If you jump down to the bottom, we currently have 634 credit hours that students are currently completing in concurrent enrollment classes, and then we'll be recalculating that in the spring as well. We represent, as I said, K through 12 in elementary, middle, and high school. And our ethnicity is now at 40% of ethnic diversity. Our achievement rating at CDE is 95.8%. And we were ranked as number 9 in the in the U.S. News and World Report, which came out last spring as well. We offer 18 advanced placement courses currently, and then we last year earned 126 industry certificates. When you take a look at things like P-TECH, we are one of 7 schools. We were the 5th school to start the P-TECH program with Colorado Department of Education. They've currently added 2 schools recently, so we are one of 7, and that program is expanding each year. We were highlighting some of our seniors last year. We had 127 graduates, and they accumulated 129 college acceptances and university acceptances, representing 2 countries and 35 states. And 87% of our students last year, our graduates, were accepted and had applied and accepted to college. So lots of things in this snapshot of numbers and data that we're very proud of with our student body. We are required to administer the CMAS assessment, which starts in 3rd grade and continues through high school, well, through 8th grade and 11th grade for science. We administer the English Language Arts assessment, 3rd through 8th, also the math assessment, and this is a snapshot of how our students perform compared to the state and the district level. So the first number is actually the standard score, and then underneath are the percentages of our students meeting or exceeding that benchmark. And you can see at the state level in English Language Arts, it's around an average of in the 40s to close to 50%. At the district, it's from 50%, 52% up closer to 60. And here at STEM, we surpass that, the high 59% to the 70% of our students are meeting or exceeding the benchmarks in English Language Arts. In math, we see a similar trend, that at the state level, an average of 30, close to 40%, 3rd through 8th grade. At the district level, more And at STEM, we're proud to say that across the board, our students are at the 50s to the 68% that meet or exceed the benchmarks. And there is a lot of information for data. This is really meant to be just a snapshot and to get you interested in some of the data. Please feel free to follow that link to the Colorado Department of Education website, where you can see a breakdown of these scores in more detail as well. We administer the science CMAS in 5th, 8th, and high school. And so this is a snapshot of how the state, the district, and here at STEM perform on those measures of science success. These, again, are the percentages of students that meet or exceed the benchmark. And social studies is administered approximately every 3 years. It is random for each school. And so last year we did not take the social studies assessment. So this is 2018 data from the previous spring of how our 4th and our 7th graders performed on those assessments. The SAT this past spring, you can see that we have 2 categories that we really look closely at: math and the evidence-based reading and writing. And these are the scale scores, but it represents a global score, the state, the district, and STEM. And again, we surpass all of those other organizations, those groups, and are continuing to excel on our SATs and our PSAT 10 as well. These are administered in April each year. And finally, a snapshot of advanced placement courses that we have and that we offer. And we, as a school, close to 82% of our students score 3 or more on the advanced placement test that they've taken. So it's a cause for celebration to have 82% of our students excelling at that level. Last year, we scored an average of 3 or above in the English language, English lit, US and world history, computer science A, computer science principles, the physics 1 and the physics C, which is the focus of mechanics, French, Spanish, human geography, European history, and a new course studio, art studio. So we're always continually looking at AP offerings and helping our students to achieve in these areas, since that benefits them as they move to college. And just to point out, we were so close to the 3 mark in Calc AB, Calc BC, and Chem. So we know that this year those are one of our goals that we're really working with our AP teachers to help students make achievement in those areas as well, to get to that 3. And finally, this is just a snapshot of our AP course offerings and our concurrent offerings that we currently have. And we are looking at course proposals for next year. We will be adding to especially our CE list as we roll out P-Tech at the next level. I think we have 7 or 8 new courses in engineering that will be part of our P-Tech rollout next year as well. So lots of opportunities for our high school students, and we're very proud that they take those courses and that they are achieving at such great levels. It's a real testament to what we're doing here, and what Ms. Wayman was talking about with our teachers are working very hard, and our students are engaged in what we're doing. And although all of these tests are measures of our academic performance, we never teach to the test. And I think that's a testament to our excellent staff and the students that we have here that are just really excelling. Next, we will turn it over to Ms. Reese for a snapshot of mental health.
Hello, my name is Hannah, and I oversee our mental health team here at STEM. And we are lucky to have 9 people representing 5 separate professions to support our kids. So we have 2 school psychologists, a social worker, Evan, who I'll talk about more shortly, is a mental health clinician who's here full-time, as well as our counselors and counseling assistants assistant who works tirelessly at all the paperwork to make sure that the kids get through the graduation system, and particularly with your seniors, and frees up time for our counselors to work one-on-one with kids. These folks work in a variety of fields, focusing on crisis preventions, supporting the mental health of a student who's really struggling on a particular day, social emotional support groups, PBIS, which is positive behavior systems and supports, and they just go through and support really every facet of social emotional well-being of your students while they're here at school, from kinder up until graduation. So they are an amazing team of 9 people, and I cannot fathom the moment without all of them. So we are lucky this year to have Evan Forster. He's an all-health clinician. He's a LCSW, which is a licensed clinical social worker at the master's level. He's paid for by VOCA grants, and he is here to work with all of our students. He can do family groups, free of charge, therapy for any student who's currently enrolled at STEM. He's amazing. And he started here 3 days a week, and then he is currently here 5 days a week, continuing to do intake with families. And I really, really love that he can do both that individual and the group therapy model here on campus during the child's school day. I can't sing his praises enough. Evan is genuinely amazing. And the other thing that I am extremely excited about is to announce, really, our STEM Resiliency Center. So in coordination with All Health, as well as a whole bunch of other folks who have rallied around our community to really, really help us. AEAP and VOCA funds are paying for the opening of a resiliency center. So currently, Susie McKay has been hired by those folks. The Resiliency Center will be here to support us in our community. It is not run or funded by STEM. It is not run or funded by All Health. It is its own entity. So Susie McKay is a retired educator from both Douglas County and Cherry Creek, and she will be the educator-based interfacing with students and families and helping provide programming at that center. Currently, they've hired a real estate agent who is out in the world desperately trying to find a location to host the Resiliency Center. And in the meantime, All Health has been very kind, and at their closest location, they're going to start offering group therapy to our staff next week. And they will have dates, and I'll have emails out to you in the very short term for family groups, or for parent groups, as well as student groups for grades 8 and up. So those are starting immediately, and then as soon as they find a location, then we're hoping that the Resiliency Center will be open ideally Monday through Friday after school, so more or less from 2:30 till 7, providing wellness activities, mental health support services, psychoeducation for families and kids, really to kind of scoop up our community and provide all those additional supports. So I'm thrilled that they're coming aboard, and arguably most importantly is soon. I don't have a timeline for soon, but soon. There will be a stakeholder survey coming out from this organization asking our community what they need. Answer the survey. Okay, so that's how they're going to figure out what we need and what to program for. So the more people who respond to that data collection, the better the programming will be. So I'm thrilled about this. It's been in the works for a while, but it is amazing. And when you meet Susie McKay, you'll like her. I like her. So next up, I am excited to announce our high school student government leaders. So we have Fizza and Sydney.
Hi everyone, so I'm Fizza and this is Sydney. We're both seniors. I'm the high school student body president for 2019 and 2020, and she's a high school student body vice president for 2019 and 2020. So basically, student government is, that's not our slide, but student government is a group of students who are leaders in all the grades. So we have in high school, so we have 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders in student government. And we put together community events for the entire school, and through this we learn a ton of valuable leadership skills.
So some of the events that we plan, we're responsible for planning all of the school dances. So if you've had any of your students, really excited for homecoming or something like that, we get the privilege to plan those types of events, including winter dance and prom as well. We also do events that are more just like community things. So trunk or treat was last night, so that's why we were here after school. It was really hard to find parking. And basically kids in the high school got to decorate their cars and hand out candy to our elementary and middle school kids. So it's a really great community event to include all the grades K through 12, even if it is organized by high school student government. We also do spirit things, so like today was Sweater Wednesday, or Swednesday, and so we went around to the high school classes and gave out free cookies to students just to kind of say a thank you for all of your hard work this semester. We really appreciate everything you're doing, and also just to get students involved in our school clubs. We also are working with the Career Discovery Leadership Team, and so we're providing resources for students on how to develop resumes, cover letters, tips on professionalism in the workplace, because a lot of our students, especially upperclassmen, are applying for programs that allow them to either shadow at companies on a regular basis, and they have to apply for that, or to get part-time paid internships through CareerWise. And so we want to give them all the resources available so that they can be successful in their activities. So we get to do a lot of really cool stuff through student government, and then one thing that Biz and I get to do as officers is we go to the board meetings and we get to present on an update on what it's like being a student in STEM right now, what events student government has been working on, and student concerns or just kind of general comments, and we get to bring those to who run our school, which is a really great opportunity that we're lucky to have. So that's kind of what we do as student government members, and we're lucky to be able to create a part of our own experience in STEM. And I believe Mr. Hornstra is next. Maybe? Yeah.
I'm Robert Hornstra, Chief Operating Officer, and as you can tell by the screen, we had a groundbreaking for the playfield back in May. The playfield was a project that has been ongoing for quite some time. I'd asked the majority of you folks to show up in 2018 and sign up and go to the Douglas County hearing to voice your opinion for having a playfield. And I want to just say thank you very much for the community for their support. It was a great project, and I think that it shows that this project developed very well. It helped us as far as to have something that the kids no longer had to play in parking lots, and be able to have an official place to play on as far as grass goes. I think it's turned out really well, and I can tell that by the simple fact that the grass is actually tramped down fairly well. The kids are using it a lot. But one of the other things that we're working on for improvements also is middle school classroom modifications. So one of the major hurdles that we had back in this summer was to recover the classrooms that basically were locked down. So one of the things that we wanted to do is to move forward with is to have a project to where we could remodel the 2 classrooms where most of the incident took place, be able to reconfigure those and make them into a better situation, more high tech. And so anyways, we went to a pre-bid conference. I had 3 contractors that I walked through on the 21st of October. The bids are going to be due back tomorrow. And then the hope is that this project will be completed by spring break. A couple other projects that I have in the works right now also is that I submitted 5 grants to the Douglas County Commissioners for security and mental health. Out of those 5s, I got one of them that was accepted, and that was for an integrated security system here at STEM. And so I'm encouraged, the simple fact that what the county is hopefully going to fund is about $250,000 of improvements for security on the site. The other thing that I met with is I met with Douglas County School District. They dedicated some bond funding money for projects on behalf of STEM. And we met last week on that particular piece, and their hope is to have all of their projects that they want to do improvements, which is going to be replacing some rooftop units, and then also replacing a fire panel and associated DDC or direct control digital systems with the rooftop units. And so those are moving forward. And so at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Leanne again.
Sarah Phelps was not able to be here this evening, and so she asked me to present her slides for her. Sarah, of course, is our school enrichment coordinator, and we've had some great successes already this year in our enrichment program. Over 40 programs scheduled for this year, over 1,000 registrations already, and 3 different school levels all involved in those enrichment activities and programs. Some highlights thus far: we had 5 camps this summer, 120 participants. Middle school and high school best robotics teams advanced to the regional competition that takes place in December. Around 250 middle school and high school students are in TSA. Students will of course compete in February at the state conference if they're eligible for that round. 120 middle school and high school students are participating in Cyberpatriot teams this year. We have our middle school, high school theater production, Fiddler on the Roof. They are practicing and will perform in January of 2020. FRC Robotics, they have doubled their team size and are preparing for the 2020 competition season. We have 2 Kid Stage elementary productions. Our first LEGO League teams will be competing at locals, and we have a thriving DECA and FBLA program, both of which have found great success already this school year. All right, next I would like to present our School Accountability Committee, and we have Kelly Reyna and Anne Marie Blackburn to present.
Hello. We actually have half of our team, I think, up here. So we have Tom Quinlan, Ish Kalra, Amy Winnan, and then Anne Marie, and then Kelly Reyna. We are your parent representatives on the SAC. So what is SAC? Some of you know, some of you don't. It's the parents, it's teachers, it's community, it's basically everybody. It's you. SAC is the advisory committee to the director of our school. In Colorado, it's a statutory requirement for every school to have a school accountability committee, so a SAC. The purpose of the SAC is to inform, encourage, and provide opportunities for parents and community members to be involved in the planning of the school's instructional program and quality improvement process. Educating our children is a partnership between families and the educators, and the STEM SAC is a great forum for parents to be involved in their children's school. The SAC welcomes all parents and community members to attend the meetings to learn more about the business of educating our students. So this is just a general layout of what a SAC committee would look like. There's a minimum of 7 SAC members, as you can tell up there. We actually have 12 SAC members. We wanted to make sure that we increased our parent involvement to effectively represent